Eggs can stay fresh for quite a long time, but sooner or later every egg goes bad. And when it does, it can produce one of the strongest smells that you can possibly imagine. And in this video, I want to show you what happens inside a spoiling egg, how you can recognize when an egg has gone bad, and also what you can do to keep eggs fresh for as long as possible. Hi, hello, and welcome again. Microbehunter here. I'm Oliver. When you look at an egg from the outside, it seems like a solid object, but the shell is full of tiny pores. And to show this, I put a little stain on the outside of a shell, and after only a few minutes the color starts to appear on the inside, and this shows that liquids can move through the shell. The stain also makes very fine cracks visible that you normally do not see. Now the liquid runs into these small cracks as well, and of course if liquids can move through the pores and also through the cracks, well then of course also microbes from the environment can also move through. Inside a fresh egg, the egg white is normally free of bacteria. The hen covers the shell with a thin natural layer called the cuticle, and under the shell there are also membranes that give extra protection. So even though the shell has pores, bacteria at the beginning, they have a very hard time of actually getting into the egg. There is an important difference between regions. In many European countries, eggs are sold unwashed. The cuticle stays on the shell, and that is why the eggs are often stored at room temperature in the shop. In the US, the eggs are washed and disinfected in factories. This removes most of the dirt and bacteria on the surface, but it also removes the cuticle. And for this reason, US eggs must be kept in the fridge. Once bacteria are inside the egg, they start to break down the proteins in the egg. Egg proteins contain sulfur, and during this process, the bacteria release hydrogen sulfide gas. And this is the typical rotten egg smell, and our nose can notice it in even very small amounts. Because the egg shell has pores, the gas can leak out, and this is also why you can sometimes smell a bad egg even before you crack it. So what can you do to keep eggs fresh longer? In practice, three things are most important. Keep the eggs cold, keep the shell dry, and avoid cracks. Cold temperatures slow down the growth of bacteria and also slow down the natural changes inside the egg. Keeping eggs in the fridge makes them last much longer. And this is absolutely necessary for the washed eggs in the US, but also helps unwashed eggs in Europe. The second point is dryness. Water on the shell makes it much easier for bacteria to move through the pores. This includes both washing and also condensation. Once you put eggs in the fridge, you should keep them cold all the time, because if you take them out, then water can condense on the shell. And this thin layer of water helps microbes move into the egg. And the third way to keep eggs fresh longer is to avoid cracks in the shell. The shell and the membranes under it are the main physical barriers that keep bacteria out. But once there's even a very fine crack, then microbes on the surface can enter much more easily, and then the egg will also spoil much faster. And it's not only about freshness, because cracks can also make it easy for salmonella and other bacteria to get inside, which increases the risk of foodborne illness. So if one egg cracks at home, then use it as soon as possible and cook it well instead of just storing it. Now, what about washing eggs at home? Well, there is a simple rule, because if one egg is visibly dirty, then you can wash that single egg under running water right before you use it, but then you have to cook it immediately. The other eggs, they should stay dry in storage, because as I said before, once there is moisture on the shell of the egg, it's much easier for bacteria to enter the egg. So thanks for watching. I hope that you found this video interesting and informative. I wish you happy microbe hunting as always, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye bye.